Universities are looking all over the world, sometimes in exotic places, for new antibiotics to treat infections that are becoming tougher and tougher to kill. But some researchers at New York's Rockefeller University are looking closer to home and digging in the dirt of the city's most iconic park. VOA's Kevin Enochs reports.
Armed with a spade and a baggie, molecular microbiologist Sean Brady and postgraduate student Zachary Charlotte Powers are looking for the next generation of antibiotics.
Almost any drug that's coming from a bacteria that was found someplace else in the world, we could identify a sequence that suggests a bug like that exists in a sample of New York City Park.
The team looked at 275 soil samples taken from the famous Central Park in Manhattan and a few other parks in the hopes locally found dirt may lead to new drugs. They found genetic evidence of bacteria with the potential to produce compounds that could become treatments for a variety of conditions.
Many of the molecules that we've used in the clinic have historically been isolated from organisms that have their origin all over the world. And we're able to find genetic evidence that you'd be able to find the similar or the same gene clusters, and therefore similar or the same molecules in New York City's park soils.
They published the results of their study in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences in November. The team used a sophisticated computer program to find the parts of the microbe's genome that ought to produce antibiotic compounds. Then they synthesized those compounds.
Almost any molecule you can think of that might have come from bacteria, so if you don't know those types of molecules, things like vancomycin, the antibiotic of last resort, we can find molecule or genes that we think would encode molecules like that. Rapamycin, immunosuppressant, we can find genes that encode molecules that look like that, or even new versions of those molecules.
So far, the team has synthesized 2 new antibiotics that are especially effective against Staphylococcus and Streptococcus bacteria, and they're still looking, hoping to find more.
We all know that dogs' noses are much better than ours. Not only do canines have 50 times more olfactory receptors than humans, they also have a much better technique for inhaling samples of air. Scientists at the U.S. National Institute of Science and Technology, or NIST, unlocked that secret. VOA's George Purick reports.
Dogs rely on their sense of smell more than any other sense. When they actively look for something, they inhale and exhale very quickly, about 5 times each second. Hoping to improve the vapor detection devices used by law enforcement agencies all over the world, scientists at NIST started from a replica of a dog's snout.
It's literally a piece of plastic that we have to make sniff or breathe like a real dog would. And in fact, we do have a system that does that as well.
A simple pump makes the replica of a dog's nose breathe as a real dog does when sniffing. A video camera coupled with a special lamp and one-way and two-way mirrors lets scientists visualize the movement of otherwise invisible vapors. Watch what happens when fuel is released from a pocket cigarette lighter. Now watch what happens to the vapor when the replica nose sniffs a polyurethane plug doused with acetone.
By pulsing an air jet in this direction, he's literally pulling new air towards him from this direction, really because of a pressure differential that's created here. So we call this increasing the aerodynamic reach, the ability of the nose of this dog to reach out and grab new vapor, pull it towards himself, inhales it, analyzes it with an amazing chemical detector, right, in the olfactory region, and then does it at about 5 times a second.
Scientists tested their concept by attaching it to a commercial explosive detection device.
By making these systems mimic what the dog does, their improvements sometimes go up by a factor of 16, 17, sometimes even 18.
Staymate says vapor dynamics clearly plays a role in the way dogs sample the world around them, so the bomb-sniffing devices should do the same.